There's something magical about reading the Kybalion, isn't there? It's like opening a portal to a sacred transmission of wisdom that's been echoing through ages, straight from Hermes Trismegistus himself. This book, first published in 1908, carries not just words, but an entire esoteric tradition encrypted in symbolic language. And the beauty of this path is that the Kybalion is not a book you read once and toss aside. No, my friend, it's an initiation path, a lifelong companion that reveals more as your consciousness evolves. Each chapter feels like walking deeper into the temple of Hermetic philosophy, unlocking secrets about the universal laws that govern not only the stars but also our own souls. You know, many people dive into the Kybalion thinking it's just a book about some old philosophy, but quickly realize they've stepped into a labyrinth of mystical teachings that challenge their entire perception of reality versus illusion. It's not merely about reading. It's about initiation, about being ready to receive what's written between the lines. That's why the group exists, to walk this alchemical process together, slowly refining our perception, our energy, and our vibrational frequency as we learn to see beyond appearances. It's a sacred flame we keep alive in each meeting, bringing together seekers who resonate with the ancient call of spiritual evolution and self-mastery. And let's be honest, without a space to share and debate these Hermetic teachings, much of their wisdom would fade like forgotten echoes in the wind. The Kybalion itself is a reminder of that cosmic order that connect Hermeticism with other ancient schools of wisdom, from Plato's dialogues to Eastern philosophy and the esoteric mysteries of alchemy. If Hermes Trismegistus were here in the flesh, he would smile at our effort to keep the symbolic language of the universal laws alive, knowing that each reader, whether new or advanced, is part of an energetic field working to uphold the principle of vibration and mentalism in action. Some people think, but why do we need to study something written over a century ago? Well, that's like asking why a river keeps flowing or why the stars still shine. Because some knowledge doesn't age. Some truths are cosmic, eternal, like the principle of rhythm that governs both the galaxies and our inner tides. This is not just about reading old texts. It's about understanding how ancient metaphysical truths like polarity, correspondence, and spiritual ascension play out in modern life, whether in the chaos of our cities or in the silence of a sunrise meditation. Hermetic philosophy is not an abstract idea. It's an active force shaping destiny and free will in every moment. What fascinates me, and perhaps will fascinate you too, is how the Kybalion insists that wisdom unfolds in layers, like a flower that only blooms when the seasons are right. It reminds us that esotericism and mysticism are not about rushing toward enlightenment, but embracing the rhythm of our own spiritual evolution. So, as we dive into the principle of vibration, we prepare to face yet another mirror reflecting our own vibrational signature. And if you think this is where the mystery ends, wait until we explore the challenge of understanding esoteric knowledge, where symbolic language tests both our mind and soul. Chapter 1. The Challenge of Understanding Esoteric Knowledge. One thing that surprises many people when they first approach the Kybalion or any Hermetic philosophy text is how nothing is handed over on a silver platter. And there's a reason for that. This is initiation knowledge, my friend, not just a manual to skim through. You see, esotericism, by nature, is veiled, not because it wants to exclude people, but because understanding its metaphysical truths requires consciousness to reach a certain vibrational frequency. Imagine trying to explain quantum physics to a child who hasn't yet learned basic math. It wouldn't make sense, right? The same happens when we dive into Hermetic wisdom, where every line is a doorway, but only those ready to walk through it will actually see what's behind. People from modern Western cultures often expect straightforward, linear explanations, like a recipe book. Step 1, Step 2, voila. But Hermeticism doesn't play by those rules. It's deeply rooted in symbolic language, much like Plato's Republic or the mysteries of Eastern philosophy. You may read a passage today and think, okay, I get it. But when you return to it months or years later, suddenly, like a flash of light, an entirely new layer of consciousness appears. That's the nature of wisdom transmitted through sacred traditions. It grows as you grow, matching your vibrational refinement, following the universal laws of rhythm and correspondence. Now, if you think this process is frustrating, you're not alone. Many give up on studying the Kybalion because they want all the answers now. But here's where Hermeticism teaches one of its most important lessons. True wisdom is earned, not given. This is why the ancients valued initiation so much, whether in the temples of Egypt, among the Greeks, or in Eastern philosophies. The journey itself, with all its riddles and mirrors, is what sharpens our consciousness, helping us elevate our vibrational frequency. It's like an alchemist refining raw matter into gold, spiritual gold. If you're impatient, maybe this is exactly what you need to learn: rhythm, patience, and alignment with cosmic order. One way to embrace this path is to engage with other works that operate on symbolic and esoteric levels. For example, reading Plato's Phaedrus or the Symposium can open your perception to layered meanings about love, soul, and cosmic truth. Or take the Tibetan Book of the Dead, which speaks of navigating the afterlife, a deep dive into consciousness, vibration, and transcendence. These books, like the Kybalion, are vibrational instruments designed to fine-tune your mind. You don't read them like a newspaper. You meditate with them, reflect, and let the principle of mentalism do its work on you. That's how wisdom starts to vibrate within. And as we prepare to explore the principle of vibration in our next step, it's essential to remember this. If Hermeticism teaches that everything is vibration, then even the knowledge itself has a vibrational frequency. You cannot access a higher truth unless your own energy resonates with it. That's why understanding the Kybalion is more about being than knowing. It's an exercise in spiritual evolution and self-mastery, challenging you to refine your perception and align with higher realities. Because once we start understanding vibration itself, a whole new universe of possibilities opens up. Chapter 2. The Principle of Vibration. Everything in existence moves. There is no such thing as absolute stillness. The ancient Hermetic masters understood this long before modern science came along with its discoveries in quantum physics. The Kybalion puts it simply: nothing rests. Everything moves. Everything vibrates. This universal law isn't just an abstract concept. It's the very foundation of reality. From the subatomic level to the grand cosmic dance of galaxies, everything oscillates, pulsates, and flows within a cosmic rhythm. Heraclitus captured this wisdom long ago with his famous phrase, "No one bathes in the same river twice," reminding us that movement is the essence of existence. The question is, if everything vibrates, where do you stand in this spectrum of motion and energy? To understand vibration is to understand power. The higher your vibrational frequency, the closer you align with the all, the ultimate force of creation and existence. This is why spiritual evolution is, in essence, vibrational refinement. Every act of self-improvement, every moment of deep contemplation, every experience of love, wisdom, and truth raises your energetic signature. Think about it. Have you ever entered a room where the energy just felt heavy, like an invisible weight pressing down on you? Or met someone whose mere presence radiated something uplifting, even if they didn't say a word? That's vibration in action. Energy interacting with energy, determining what we attract, what we repel, and how we shape our own reality. At the core of Hermetic philosophy lies the understanding that consciousness itself is vibration. Your thoughts are not just mental whispers. They are energetic frequencies resonating with the universe. This is why mentalism, the first Hermetic principle, is so deeply connected to vibration. Every thought carries a charge, every emotion has a wavelength, and every belief system generates a unique energetic field. Those who master this law understand that they are not victims of fate, but active participants in shaping their destiny. Spiritual ascension, in this sense, is not about escaping the material world, but learning to tune oneself to higher vibrational states where wisdom, peace, and clarity become natural states of being. Now, if vibration determines everything, how do we raise ours? The ancients had a simple answer: through mastery of sound, light, and gravitation, three fundamental forces that influence our frequency. Mantras, for instance, are not just words. They're vibrational keys, altering one's energetic structure. Sacred geometry, colors, and symbols work the same way, activating specific vibrational patterns in consciousness. Even your environment shapes your vibrational state. Surrounding yourself with beauty, noble ideas, and high-minded people can lift you up, while constant exposure to fear, anger, or low-energy environments can drag you down. The choice is always yours, whether to rise or to sink. The truth is, every single moment is an opportunity to refine your frequency. The way you think, speak, and act determines whether you move toward transcendence or remain stuck in cycles of stagnation. The Kybalion doesn't just teach this as theory, it challenges you to live it. And once you start paying attention to your vibrational state, you begin to see its impact on everything: your health, your relationships, your perception of reality itself. But here's where things get even more interesting. Vibration is not just an external force. It is deeply connected to identity. Who you truly are, your core essence, is nothing but a unique vibrational signature. And if you're ready, we're about to explore what that really means. Chapter 3: Identity and the Vibrational Signature of Beings. Imagine for a second that everything about you, your thoughts, emotions, choices, even your destiny, is encoded in a unique vibrational signature. Yes, like a cosmic fingerprint made of energy. This is not a poetic metaphor. It's one of the core teachings of Hermetic philosophy. The Kybalion and ancient esoteric traditions remind us that each soul carries a specific vibration, like a sound resonating through eternity. And here's the kicker: whether we are conscious of this or not, this frequency shapes what we attract, what we repel, and what we create. So when people say, "I always end up in the same situations," or "Why do I attract the same kind of person?" what they're really describing is a vibrational pattern in action, one that can be transformed through awareness and self-mastery. Take, for instance, the ancient use of mantras and sacred names. These weren't just spiritual accessories. They were tools to awaken and tune into one's true vibration. In Eastern philosophy, the repetition of mantras like Om Mani Padme Hum isn't random. Each syllable carries a vibrational code that shifts consciousness closer to enlightenment. Similarly, in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, the soul is called to recognize its own divine name during the transition between lives, a moment where knowing your vibrational essence can literally free you from illusion. In Hermeticism, to know oneself is to know one's vibration, to align with the cosmic order that governs both mind and matter. And what is alignment, if not a return to one's divine essence? But let's bring this idea down to earth, because this is not just for monks meditating on mountaintops. You can observe your vibrational signature right now in the way you feel, in the thoughts you cultivate, and in the people who surround you. Are your relationships uplifting or draining? Do your thoughts bring you peace or turmoil? This is a practical way to start reading your own energy field. If you constantly attract conflict, maybe it's time to examine what frequency you're sending out. And if you want to shift this reality, the work begins inside, refining your vibration through intentional actions like cultivating gratitude, studying Hermetic wisdom, or spending time in nature, because nature itself vibrates at a pure, harmonious frequency. One powerful way to develop this self-awareness is to engage in daily practices that tune your vibration. For example, meditation focusing on breath and sound, like chanting sacred sounds such as Om, is an effective way to align with higher frequencies. You can also use visualization, imagining your body surrounded by light, recalibrating your energy to the rhythm of the universe. And, of course, the study of the Kybalion itself is a vibrational exercise, because every principle, every line, is designed to resonate within you and awaken forgotten parts of your consciousness. The more you study, the more you align with the universal laws, like correspondence, polarity, and rhythm, which help you recognize and refine your internal signature. Now, as we grasp that our identity is deeply vibrational, it becomes clear that everything we attract in life, whether opportunities or obstacles, is a mirror of that frequency. This is where the principle of correspondence, as above, so below, begins to show its immense power, linking the vibration within to the reality we live outside. And this, my friend, leads us to another profound realization. Different levels of vibration correspond to different stages of personal development. So if we want to evolve, if we want to transform, we must consciously raise our frequency. Because up ahead, we'll explore how vibration and consciousness are intimately linked in the journey towards spiritual enlightenment. Chapter 4: Correspondence between vibrational levels and personal development. Here's something most people don't realize. Your level of consciousness and your vibrational frequency are two sides of the same coin. As the Kybalion subtly teaches, there's a direct correspondence between the way we think, feel, and act, and the vibration we emit to the world. Every choice you make, from the music you listen to the conversations you have, to the thoughts you entertain before sleeping, all contribute to either raising or lowering your frequency. And guess what? Each vibrational level opens, or closes, the door to specific experiences, relationships, and opportunities. That's why ancient traditions always spoke of the path of initiation as a ladder of ascent, moving from dense, chaotic vibrations toward refined, luminous states of being. When we look at spiritual masters and noble individuals who have walked this path before us, like Hermes Trismegistus, Plato, or the sages of Eastern philosophy, we see that their lives were dedicated to vibrational refinement. And how do they do that? Through constant immersion in beauty, truth, wisdom, and acts of justice. These are not abstract ideas, but living energies that recalibrate the soul. So when you spend time reading profound works like the Kybalion or Plato's Phaedo, or studying Hermetic philosophy, you're not just gaining knowledge, you are bathing your mind in high vibrational fields. You're literally transforming the subtle layers of your consciousness. This is why reading sacred texts, meditating, and cultivating moral development are so crucial in the path of self-mastery. But let's not fool ourselves. This path requires intention and discipline. Just as a musician has to practice every day to master an instrument, we must practice daily if we want to refine our energetic field. Think about it. How often do you consciously choose to align your mind with higher ideals? When faced with anger or fear, do you let them control you? Or do you stop and shift to a state of compassion and wisdom? This is vibrational work. It's easy to talk about energy when things are calm. The real test is when life shakes us. In those moments, your frequency becomes your compass. And the only way to ensure that compass points true north is by training it every day through thought, feeling, and action aligned with the universal laws. Practical example: one way to raise your vibration immediately is to practice gratitude and acts of service. The simple act of writing down 3 things you're grateful for each day shifts your vibration upwards. Or better yet, help someone without expecting anything in return. You'll notice how your inner state changes. The principle of vibration works like a tuning fork. When you engage in acts of kindness, justice, and wisdom, you start vibrating on the same level as those actions. This is why even ancient alchemists believed that by acting as if they were already enlightened, they would attract enlightenment itself. Because like attracts like, according to the universal laws of attraction, resonance, and correspondence. And as we realize that vibrational refinement is the path to spiritual evolution, we start to see our personal development journey as a series of conscious shifts in frequency. No longer victims of fate, but active participants in the cosmic order, adjusting ourselves like musicians fine-tuning their instruments. And if every step we take raises us closer to our highest potential, imagine how much deeper this becomes when we understand that our vibration doesn't only affect us, but also everyone around us. And this is where our next step takes us, to the influence of vibration on reality and others. Chapter 5. The influence of vibrational frequency on reality and others. One of the most overlooked truths of Hermetic philosophy, and something the Kybalion reminds us subtly but firmly, is that your vibration doesn't belong only to you. Every thought, emotion, and action you emit enters the collective energetic field, influencing people, animals, and even nature around you. Think about it. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt the tension in the air, even before anyone spoke? Or maybe you felt calm and joyful just by being near someone wise, like a mentor or a spiritual teacher. That's vibration working in real time. You're constantly radiating a frequency, and others are tuning into it, consciously or unconsciously. This is why mastering vibration is not just a personal journey. It's a moral responsibility toward the world we co-create. Hermeticism teaches us that, as part of the cosmic order, we are bound by resonance and correspondence. What we send out, we receive back. In Eastern philosophy, this idea echoes through the principle of karma. Every thought and action plants a seed that will eventually grow and return to us. So when the Kybalion speaks of universal laws like rhythm and polarity, it's also reminding us that the way we handle our inner vibration sets in motion the rhythm of our life's events. If we live in anger, fear, or jealousy, we will inevitably attract more of the same, because that's the level we're vibrating on. On the other hand, cultivating peace, love, and wisdom means resonating with higher possibilities, aligning with the law of attraction and spiritual evolution. Now, let's make this practical. Have you ever noticed how being around negative people can drain your energy? Or how spending time with someone who is inspiring and calm can lift you up? This is why choosing your environment and your relationships is vibrational self-care. If you want to maintain a high frequency, you need to surround yourself with people, places, and experiences that resonate with that same energy. And guess what? The opposite is also true. You can be the uplifting force in a room full of darkness. Like ancient sages, who by their mere presence could bring harmony and insight to those around them. You could become a beacon of higher vibration, simply by mastering your own internal frequency. Furthermore, Hermetic teachings emphasize that your vibration affects not only people, but also animals and nature itself. Ever noticed how animals are drawn to calm, loving people, or how plants thrive in homes filled with peaceful, kind energy. This is no coincidence. It's part of the universal laws that govern vibrational correspondence. And on a larger scale, this explains why communities and even entire cultures are shaped by the collective energy of their people. When a society values wisdom, compassion, and truth, it vibrates higher. And the opposite is true when fear and selfishness dominate. The Kybalion challenges us to see ourselves as part of a greater whole, where our personal vibration feeds into the cosmic order and spiritual hierarchy that keeps everything in balance. But here's something even deeper to think about. As you refine your vibration, you begin to reshape reality itself. What if your next breakthrough, your next relationship, your next opportunity is already waiting, but on a higher vibrational plane you haven't reached yet? This is where Hermeticism meets metaphysics and even modern quantum physics, showing us that reality is not fixed. It responds to vibration. And if that sounds powerful, wait until we explore how science has begun to catch up with this ancient wisdom, recognizing that everything in the universe is vibration, including matter, light, and even gravity. Chapter 6. The Scientific and Metaphysical Perspective on Vibration. Isn't it fascinating how modern science is finally catching up with what Hermetic philosophy has taught for millennia? The Kybalion declared long ago that everything is vibration, and now quantum physics stands at the same threshold, confirming that even what we call solid matter is, in truth, energy in motion. Think about it. Atoms, particles, and even light itself are not static entities, but frequencies, vibrating at specific rates. What ancient sages called the principle of vibration, modern scientists are now trying to explain through concepts like wave-particle duality, energetic fields, and quantum resonance. Hermes Trismegistus must be having a good laugh watching humanity discover what has always been part of the esoteric tradition. But here's where Hermeticism takes us deeper. Vibration isn't just about particles bouncing around. It's the key to understanding the entire cosmic order. The light that travels from distant stars, the gravity that holds planets in orbit, even the sound that moves through the air, all are expressions of vibrational energy. Yet, while science studies how these forces work, Hermetic wisdom asks, why do they exist? What's the intelligence, the divine essence behind all this? Ancient traditions taught that gravity itself is a form of cosmic love, a magnetic pull that holds creation together, mirroring the spiritual law of unity and attraction. So, when we think of vibration, we're not only thinking about physics, but about the deep, hidden laws that govern both the material and the spiritual realms. Now, let's bring this idea into something practical. If light and sound are vibrations, and we are vibrational beings, then what happens when we consciously use sound and light to elevate ourselves? This is why mantras, music, and sacred sounds are such powerful tools in Eastern and Hermetic practices. If you start your day by chanting a mantra or listening to high-frequency music, like 432 Hz or 528 Hz tones, you are literally adjusting your energetic field to higher vibrations. Even sunlight, when consciously absorbed, can act as a source of vibrational nourishment. Notice how your mood lifts on a sunny day. You're not just imagining that. It's vibration at work. And this principle of resonance is what allows us to fine-tune our consciousness like a musical instrument, aligning with higher spiritual frequencies. What science has yet to fully understand, but Hermeticism has always taught, is that vibration shapes consciousness itself. Our thoughts, emotions, and perceptions are all modulated by the frequencies we align with. This is why people practicing deep meditation often report seeing visions of light or hearing subtle cosmic sounds. They're tapping into higher layers of vibration, beyond ordinary sensory perception. And when we understand this, we start seeing that even mental refinement, training our thoughts to align with truth, justice, and wisdom, is an act of spiritual alchemy, turning the lead of low vibrations into the gold of higher consciousness. This is where science and metaphysics meet, and where Hermeticism stands as a bridge between worlds. And if all of this sounds like theory, remember that these vibrations are not passive. They are alive, intelligent forces. The same energy that vibrates as heat or electricity is also present in consciousness, destiny, and spiritual hierarchy. This is why understanding vibration means understanding your role in the cosmos, because you are not separate from these forces. You are woven into them. And as we grasp this, we realize that mastering vibration leads directly to the expansion of consciousness, the next great mystery waiting for us just beyond this door. Chapter 7. The Expansion of Consciousness Through Vibrational Mastery. Imagine for a moment that consciousness is like the electromagnetic spectrum, ranging from dense, heavy frequencies at one end to luminous, transcendent states at the other. Just as visible light is only a fraction of the full spectrum, our ordinary perception is only a fraction of what reality truly is. The Kybalion teaches that by mastering vibration, we expand our consciousness beyond material illusions and begin to perceive higher metaphysical truths. This is why spiritual evolution isn't about believing in something abstract. It's about experiencing the shift in awareness that comes from refining one's vibrational state. The higher we vibrate, the more we see beyond surface reality, tapping into the deeper patterns of existence. Think about those moments of absolute clarity, when an idea suddenly clicks, when intuition speaks so loudly it can't be ignored, or when time seems to dissolve in deep meditation or creative flow. These aren't random events. They are shifts in vibrational frequency, moments where consciousness transcends ordinary perception. The Hermetic tradition has always emphasized that enlightenment is not a one-time event, but a continuous refinement, a gradual movement toward unity with the All. This is why initiation mysteries, alchemical transformation, and self-knowledge have always been at the core of esoteric tradition, because they provide the map for this vibrational ascent. Now, how do we consciously raise our frequency? Simple. By changing what we engage with daily. Just as junk food weighs down the body, low-quality information and toxic environments drag consciousness into lower vibrational states. This is why those on a path of initiation are careful about what they read, watch, listen to, and discuss. Engaging with philosophy, sacred texts, uplifting music, and deep conversations literally tunes the mind to higher frequencies. Similarly, practices like breath work, fasting, and deep contemplation help shift the body's vibrational state, making it a clearer vessel for higher awareness. The principle of vibration isn't just theory. It's an active force shaping our mental, emotional, and spiritual reality. But let's go further. If vibration expands consciousness, then those who master vibration gain access to perceptions and insights hidden to others. This is why sages, mystics, and enlightened beings throughout history have demonstrated abilities beyond ordinary human capacity, because their vibrational refinement allowed them to see deeper into reality. They understood the law of attraction not just as a way to manifest desires, but as a profound mechanism through which the universe aligns with one's vibrational state. And this is where modern science, quantum physics, and metaphysics begin to merge, showing us that reality is fluid, shaped by consciousness, and that those who command vibration command their own destiny. So if consciousness is vibration, and vibration is frequency, then the ultimate goal is to align with the highest frequency possible, the divine essence itself. This is the path of the spiritual adept, to refine perception until there is no separation between self and the whole. And as we prepare to explore how intuition and perception play a key role in this vibrational mastery, we begin to see that our ability to sense energy is not a mystical gift, but a fundamental aspect of being human, one that, when trained, becomes a powerful guide on the path of enlightenment. Chapter 8. The Role of Human Intuition and Perception. Here's a secret most people don't realize. You're already perceiving vibration all the time. You just haven't been trained to notice it. Hermetic philosophy, as presented in the Kybalion, teaches us that intuition is our natural ability to read the vibrational frequencies of people, places, and situations. Ever got that gut feeling when meeting someone new, like you've known them forever, or that strange sense that something is off? That's not magic or paranoia. That's your energetic field reading another field. We are constantly exchanging energy with everything around us. And guess what? The more you refine your consciousness and elevate your vibration, the sharper this intuitive perception becomes. It's like adjusting the dial of a radio. When you're tuned right, suddenly the static clears, and you hear the message perfectly. Think about how much information we gather without a single word being spoken. Body language, facial expressions, even the subtle way someone holds themselves. All these are clues to their vibrational frequency. But Hermetic philosophy goes deeper, teaching us to feel beyond the physical cues, sensing the deeper layers of someone's being, like the energy they carry based on their thoughts, emotions, and moral development. This is why ancient sages, masters of Hermeticism, could look into someone's eyes and see their soul. And let's be real, haven't you met people who give off a heavy vibe even when they smile? Or those rare few whose calm presence alone seems to heal and uplift you? That's what the Kybalion is talking about when it teaches us to see beyond the illusion, Maya, and into the vibrational truth of things. But here's where it gets practical. If you want to sharpen this intuitive ability, start by paying close attention to your first impressions. Your body is a finely tuned instrument, always picking up on energetic cues. The trick is to stop ignoring them. Start observing how you feel around different people. Do they make you feel energized or drained? Do your thoughts become clearer or more confused? These are simple, daily exercises in developing vibrational perception. And if you want to go even deeper, engage in practices that silence the noise, like meditation, spending time in nature, or even reflective reading of Hermetic texts. These help calm your internal, vibrational chaos, so you can hear the subtle voice of intuition guiding you. Now, one of the most effective ways to refine your intuition is to elevate your taste and affinities. Yes, what you enjoy reveals a lot about your vibrational state. If you constantly consume violent, chaotic, or low-consciousness media, don't be surprised if your intuition gets cloudy. But if you invest time in reading wisdom texts, appreciating art that uplifts the soul, and surrounding yourself with noble people, you're naturally tuning into higher vibrational frequencies, and your intuitive perception sharpens automatically. Plato used to say that to become virtuous, one should study virtuous people. The same applies to vibration. Be near those who vibrate higher, and you will rise with them. And as you develop this sensitivity, something beautiful happens. You begin to attract better experiences, more meaningful connections, and higher insights, because your frequency starts matching those realities. This is the law of attraction and resonance at play. And here's the best part. Once you realize that you can choose your vibration, you gain the power to consciously align with the life you want. But to master this choice, we need to understand how intentional vibrational alignment works. And that's exactly where we're headed next, unlocking even more of the Kybalion's wisdom on mastering vibration through will and intention. Chapter 9. the power of intentional vibrational alignment. Here's where things get really interesting. The Kybalion teaches that you have the power to choose your vibration. Yes, you read that right. Your vibrational frequency isn't something random or dictated by fate. It's something you can consciously align, like tuning an instrument to play in perfect harmony with the universe. This is what Hermetic masters meant when they spoke of self-mastery, the ability to rise above external chaos and intentionally choose peace, wisdom, and strength, no matter what's happening around you. And here's the kicker. The principle of polarity and vibration are deeply connected, which means that even if you're in a low state, like sadness or anger, you have the power to shift, to move from one pole to another through mental discipline. Think about how a musician picks a specific note from a whole range of possibilities. That's exactly how your mind works with vibration. If you wake up feeling low, you can intentionally choose actions that raise your frequency, like listening to uplifting music, practicing gratitude, or even reading a passage from the Kybalion to remind yourself of the bigger picture. The Hermetic principle of mentalism reminds us that the universe is mental, meaning everything starts in the mind. So, if your mind holds on to higher vibrations, love, compassion, courage, your entire reality begins to shift to match that frequency. This is where manifestation and the law of attraction really start to make sense, not as magic tricks, but as natural outcomes of vibrational alignment. And yes, it takes practice. Just like training a muscle, choosing your vibration is a daily exercise. But what if I told you that this one skill could change everything? Imagine being able to walk into a stressful environment and remain untouched because you've chosen a higher frequency, or facing personal challenges with resilience because you've trained your mind to hold on to strength and clarity. That's true power, the power over oneself. Hermetic wisdom is very clear. Those who master their vibration are no longer pushed around by the external world. They become like still water that reflects everything but is disturbed by nothing. And isn't that what we all want? To stop reacting to life and start creating it with intention? Here's a practical way to begin. Pay attention to your first thoughts in the morning. Those thoughts set your vibrational tone for the entire day. If you wake up already worrying, stressed, or angry, that's the station you'll be tuned to until you consciously switch it. So make it a practice to start with something high vibe, a mantra, a prayer, a passage from the Kybalion, or even a simple affirmation like, "Today, I choose to vibrate in harmony with the highest good." Over time, this habit rewires your mind and adjusts your entire frequency. And yes, you will feel the difference in your mood, your energy, and even in how others respond to you. And when you start living this way, choosing your vibration moment to moment, you'll begin to notice something profound. Spiritual masters and sages all operate this way. They don't just know about vibration, they live it, breathe it, master it. That's what gives them that powerful presence we all feel but can't explain. So if you want to walk that path, to live as an initiated being aligned with Hermetic laws, learning how to intentionally align your vibration is the door. And speaking of sages, in our next step, we're going to explore how noble beings influence and uplift the world around them, and why choosing the right role models can elevate your entire life. Chapter 10. The Influence of Noble Beings and the Importance of Role Models. You've probably felt it before, being in the presence of someone who simply radiates something different. Maybe it was a mentor, a teacher, or even a stranger, but somehow, without saying much, that person left you feeling uplifted, inspired, even more yourself than before. The Kybalion and Hermetic philosophy remind us that highly evolved beings naturally emit a powerful vibration, one that affects everyone around them. This isn't about charisma or social skills. It's about energetic presence, the invisible field that surrounds someone who has mastered themselves. These individuals live aligned with the universal laws, and because of that, they embody a frequency that pulls others upward, like tuning forks that bring chaotic energies into harmony. Throughout history, every culture has recognized this phenomenon. Look at figures like Socrates, Hermes Trismegistus, or Buddha, men whose mere presence changed lives. Ancient traditions believe that a single enlightened being could balance the energy of entire communities. And if you think about it, this makes sense in light of the principle of vibration. When someone is vibrating at a high level, rooted in wisdom, love, and cosmic order, their energy entrains the frequencies around them, raising the vibration of others without a word being spoken. This is why Hermetic philosophy emphasizes the responsibility of personal mastery. Because your vibration doesn't stop at your skin, it ripples outward, touching everyone you meet. But here's a question most people forget to ask. Who are your role models? Who do you allow to influence your vibration? In a world flooded with information and misinformation, it's crucial to consciously choose who you look up to. If you're constantly following people who spread fear, anger, or shallow materialism, guess what? That's the frequency you'll tune into. On the other hand, if you study the lives and teachings of noble beings, people aligned with spiritual truths and wisdom, you begin to mirror their energy. That's why reading the Kybalion, diving into Plato's dialogues, or studying Eastern philosophy is more than just reading. It's energetic alignment with minds that have already walked the path of transformation and self-mastery. And let's bring this into real life. If you want to raise your vibration, seek out people who are already living in higher states of being. This doesn't mean they're perfect. No one is. But they are consciously working toward truth, compassion, and wisdom. Whether it's a local mentor, a community of like-minded seekers, or even online groups dedicated to Hermetic studies, surrounding yourself with noble influences makes all the difference. It's like trying to get fit. You can struggle alone, or you can join others who are already on the path, making your journey smoother and more inspired. This is why the initiation path has always emphasized studying with the wise, because vibrational learning often happens by resonance, not just by words. And once you start experiencing the power of noble vibrations in your life, you'll naturally want to become that influence for others. Imagine a world where more people take responsibility for their energy, becoming pillars of calm, strength, and wisdom in chaotic times. And as we prepare to dive into the path of self-realization and spiritual mastery, keep this in mind. You are meant to be one of these noble beings. The next step is learning how to fully embrace that role by refining your own vibration to its highest potential. Chapter 11. The Path to Self-Realization and Spiritual Mastery. If there's one thing the Kybalion makes clear, it's this. Every human being has the potential to reach the highest levels of spiritual mastery. Yes, even you, no matter where you're starting from. Hermetic philosophy isn't about belonging to a secret club or waiting for some cosmic event to awaken you. It's about taking conscious, daily steps to refine your vibration and align with the universal laws. The path of self-realization is open to all, but few dare to walk it fully. Why? Because it requires real effort, a commitment to transforming not only what you do, but who you are inside. And yet, for those who walk this path, the rewards are beyond anything material. They gain clarity, strength, and a deep connection to the all, the cosmic unity behind everything. You see, real power is not about controlling others. It's about controlling oneself, mastering your own thoughts, emotions, and actions so that they align with the higher vibrational frequencies of love, wisdom, and truth. Hermetic wisdom teaches that self-mastery is the key to influencing reality. Instead of being pushed around by external circumstances, you become the creator of your own destiny, working in harmony with with the cosmic order. This is why sages and spiritual masters never seek power over others. Their strength comes from knowing and applying the laws of vibration, rhythm, correspondence, and polarity. They don't need to force anything because they understand how reality responds to inner mastery. And if they can do it, so can you. But let's be honest, walking this path means letting go of illusions. You can't vibrate higher while holding on to anger, fear, and victimhood. Spiritual alchemy means transforming those heavy emotions into light through constant self-observation and discipline. When the Kybalion says, "as above, so below," it's not just a cool phrase, it's a map. If you want to change your life, the below, you must first change your inner world, the above. This is where the principle of mentalism and the principle of vibration work hand in hand. And this process of inner transformation is what makes you an initiated being, someone who doesn't just know about Hermetic laws, but lives them, breathes them, becomes one with them. So how do you begin this work of refinement? Start by observing your daily thoughts and emotions, as if you were watching a movie. Notice when you fall into fear, anger, or doubt. Instead of judging yourself, see these moments as opportunities to practice shifting your vibration. Use tools like breath work, meditation, or reading a passage from the Kybalion to realign. Set small, daily goals, like responding with kindness when you're frustrated, or choosing silence when gossip tempts you. Each small victory raises your vibrational frequency and strengthens your inner mastery. Remember, the work is done in the small moments, not only in grand rituals or deep meditations. And here's the ultimate truth the Kybalion teaches. This path is not about miracles. It's about understanding the universal laws that govern everything. When you align with these laws, life itself starts to flow differently. You stop swimming against the current and start moving with the rhythm of the cosmos. And as you do, you realize that the greatest transformation doesn't happen outside. It happens within. And now, as we close this journey through the principle of vibration, I have to ask, are you ready to apply all this in your life and walk as a conscious creator of your destiny? Because what comes next is not just study, it's action, application, and living this wisdom daily. Conclusion. Are you attracting the life you want? Or are you unknowingly locked in a cycle you can't break? Now let me ask you this. What are you going to do with this knowledge? Are you going to walk away and let your life stay the same, vibrating at the same frequency that's been holding you back? Or are you ready to take control of your vibration and finally step into the life you're meant to live? Because here's the raw truth. No one is coming to save you. If you don't learn to master your energy, someone else will decide what you attract, whether that's toxic relationships, financial struggle, or constant emotional chaos. So think about it. Where are you vibrating right now? Are you attracting the life you want? Or are you unknowingly locked in a cycle you can't break? And most importantly, what would happen if, starting today, you chose to raise your vibration intentionally? How different would your relationships be? Your opportunities? The way you feel about yourself when you wake up? You hold that power, but only if you dare to use it. I want to challenge you right now. Don't just listen and forget. Take one thing from this video and apply it today. Maybe it's observing your vibration when you wake up. Maybe it's using a mantra to shift your frequency. Maybe it's cutting out one thing that drains your energy. But do something, because knowledge without action is useless. And before you go, let me ask you, what's the biggest vibration that's holding you back right now? Is it fear, anger, doubt? Drop in the comments. I want to know. Let's start a real conversation here, because you're not alone in this. Everyone on this path faces the same battle, and sometimes sharing what we're struggling with is the first step toward breaking free. And of course, if you want to go deeper into this kind of knowledge, if you want to keep learning about the Kybalion, Hermeticism, and how to truly master your reality, Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. Trust me, what's coming next will take this even further.